try. Okay, so this is Bree Bishop. That's how you say your name, right? Bishop. Okay, Bree Bishop, and she has just overcame so many hurdles from starting and to where she is now. And last month alone, she enrolled 12 distributors, and so she's just such a light and is always so consistent um, on her stories and business and everything. So I just wanted to get her on here. So I want to let her tell her story, and then we will do some questions. Let me see.
Hi. Do you want me to start from like the beginning, like when I first joined?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my name is Bree. I'm 21 years old. I joined 2 years ago when I was 19. When I joined, I was in a really tough spot. I was working at a Mexican restaurant making $2.13 an hour. I hated my life. I was going to college, didn't know what I was doing, could barely afford gas money. Most of the time we chose between gas money and food. And one day I just woke up and I realized like I hated everything about my life. I hated the way I was. I hated the way I hated everything. I hated the financial place that I was in. So I quit my job on a Friday, and then on a Saturday, my hairstylist messaged me about this business. I told her she was psychotic, and 2 hours later I joined her team. So from there, I kind of just hit the ground running. I literally had no idea what I was doing, didn't know anything about anything. But I knew that if she could, because she, at that time, I think she was Ruby. So when she told me that she was making $500 a month from her phone, I was like, oh, well, if she can do it, I can too. So within 3 months, I was Ruby. Within 6 months, I was Emerald. And then probably like 11, maybe a year after I joined, I was Diamond. And I was charted for double diamond, and then my whole entire team quit. My upline, her upline, everybody underneath me, everybody just like disappeared. It was just like poof, and they were all gone. And I freaked out. At first, I was trying to have a positive mindset, because that's always what I've been told, and that's always what I try to like teach people, is to have a positive mindset. But my whole entire team quit. I had no upline. My only other upline I knew of was Courtney Labby, and I was terrified to reach out to her because like, I don't know, because I was just freaking scared because she's like a celebrity or something. And then right after that, I lost my great grandma to cardiac arrest. She was she was older, so it wasn't like a huge surprise. But it's always tough when you lose somebody. And then 2.5 to 3 weeks later, I lost my Nana, who was paralyzed, and we lost her due to pneumonia. So not only did my whole entire team quit, I just lost 2 huge influences on my life, and I literally just felt like, woe is me. Like had myself in a pity party. I was like, why me? Why would you do this to me? Like, it was just all bad. So I, for a couple months, just wallowed in my self-pity, and I told myself like, nothing's ever going to get better. And nothing did get better. I lost my rank down from Diamond all the way down to Ruby. And I was obviously very upset. I was upset that I had made it that far and then just decided to quit because life wasn't going the way I wanted it to. And then right as I picked up momentum coming back, like realizing that my Nana and my grandma wouldn't want me to stay down in life and just wallow in my self-pity, we lost my boyfriend's grandpa on New Year's Eve. So as soon as I had built myself right back up, something just came and knocked me back down. So it's been a pretty rough past 6 months, but since then, I've been able to re-rank as Ruby, and then I'm on my way to Diamond this month. I plan on being Diamond before the end of the month, and I have a huge team behind me. Honestly, I don't know where they came from, but I'm so excited that they're here. I just feel like I know that this is what I want to do, and I know that this is what I should be doing, so I decided to pull myself out of that and go back to doing what I was doing, because I know that I can do it because I've done it before. And yeah, that's basically it.
I love your story. I mean, it's just like, because I mean, all of our entire life is just going to happen regardless.
Right.
Where we are in our business. And I just love that, you've went through some really hard stuff. And I mean, people go through deaths and people quitting and everything throughout their entire business. So one of the things that I want to know is how, like, what mindset shift did you, like, what did you do to overcome that?
So basically I I have a really weird relationship with my family. I couldn't explain it to you if we had all the time in the world. But I had a very weird like dream about my nana, because like my great grandma, I was close to her obviously, but like I said, her death wasn't really like unexpected because we knew that she was in bad health. But my nana, ever since I was younger, she's always just like poured into me and told me like, you can do whatever you want to do. If you want to be the president of the United States, like that's something you can do. So I had a dream, and it sounds absolutely crazy, and every time I talk about it I cry, so I'm going to try not to cry. But she came to me in a dream and she just told me like, it's okay. Everything will be okay. You start from the top and you do it all over again, because I know you can. And whether that meant like just getting back to where I was like mentally or getting back to where I was physically, but I took that as she watched me go from like literally couldn't feed myself to making $2,000 a month from my phone. Like she watched me do it all, because I hit diamond before she ever even died. And like she was the first person that was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. She encouraged me from the beginning when a lot of my family didn't, because like I said, we have a really bad family situation. But I basically just decided like, if she was alive, she wouldn't want me to do this. And I just switched my mindset. I got up the next day and I was like, you know what? I'm diamond. I was almost double diamond. I deserve it. And I know that if I did it before, I can do it again. So I literally just woke up one day, turned the switch back on, got back to making my keto coffee every single day, sharing it with people, got back to talking about the business. I also talked about how this business pulled me out of that dark spot. And a lot of people can, relate to that, because when you can't afford stuff or you can't make ends meet, or you just don't have the freedom of time to do literally anything, and then all of a sudden you have the business to do that for you, a lot of people relate to that. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, that's awesome. So as soon as I started back up, I signed 3 or 4 distributors, and I signed like 30 customers in like 2 weeks, because everybody was like, holy hell, like where did you go? You're back. So I really just decided to wake up one day and I switched my mindset, but I fully accredit it to my nana. I know for a fact that if she hadn't have come to me in that dream, I definitely wouldn't have decided to come back, because I didn't ever technically like quit working. I just quit being consistent and working as much as I was. And I told my boyfriend like 3 or 4 times, I was like, I'm just going to quit. Like, I can't do it. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I just can't do it. Like, I just feel like I can't do it anymore. I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. I lost 3 people that I'm really close with. And I mean, like, he took his grandpa super hard. So it was hard for me to be in a positive mindset when I woke up every day, hating my life, hating the world. Like, I lost all of my faith in everything, faith in humanity. I lost all of my faith in that if there was a God. And I just was tired of being sick and tired. Just basically the same thing I did the first go around. I just decided it was time for me to stop feeling bad for myself. And I knew that if she was alive, that's what she would want me to do. So I got up one day and I just made this shit happen.
I love that so much. That is so
Thanks.
awesome. I really feel like this business it's just so impactful in so many ways. I mean, I from your story and like with me, like I have always had like I've always like believed in God and like had that relationship and grew up in church and stuff, but I've never like been close to
Right.
God. Like Tina, can vouch for me and stuff. Like I never had that like really relationship. And the past few months, like that's what this business has been able to do as well. And just mentally, like I'm so much stronger because
Exactly.
I had like the tools to do that. And so, yeah, I feel like so much just pushes us to just be such a strong person in this business. So I love that she came to you in a dream. That's sweet. So what do you do like daily for your business? Do you message? Do you just do host posts? Like what do you do?
Okay. So I don't remember her name. She was a distributor when I first started. I think she since switched to like Arbonne or something, but I remember I saw her post one day when I was like literally brand new, like 3 weeks into the business, and she was like, I do this every single day and I see results, and this is what I do. So every morning when I wake up, I start with self-development. It's a huge thing that I thought everybody was freaking stupid for when I first started. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm supposed to like develop myself? Like, what does that mean? And it means something different for everybody. Like I said, after I took that really huge hit to my business, I lost faith in everything. So then my self-development went from like faith-based to like just motivational. But I get up every day and I do self-development, whether that means reading Bible verses, reading from my Hi God One More Thing, listening to a motivational speaker. That's the very first thing I do every single morning. And I'm not a morning person. I hate being up in the morning. I would rather sleep until noon and do everything then. But I make myself get up early because I know that it's good for me. So I start out with self-development, and then after that, I post to my stories. I always try to post one or two like series of slides of the product, and then I always make sure to post about the business, whether the business paid for my burger at McDonald's, whether the business paid for my oil change, whether the business paid for me to fix my nail. Like, I always want people to know like what this business has done for me and be like, hey, do you like getting your nails done? Well, look, the business just paid for me to get my nails done. So I always post about the products and the business, and I always make sure to grow my network. So every single day, at least, I try to follow 100 people on Instagram and add 100 friends on Facebook, because eventually, like, your market, people have already seen you post about this stuff, and if they've already ordered from you, they're only good for 90 days, as everybody knows. So you always want to make sure that you're bringing in new people and new faces. And then I usually follow up with every single person. Even if I talk to them like 2 weeks ago, I just try to go through my follow-up list and follow up with everybody. A lot of the times people can't order if it's like the middle of the week, but a lot of the times on Fridays people can order because most people get paid on Fridays. But I follow up, whether it's they said they were going to place an order and it didn't go through, or they were talking to me about the business and said they were unsure. I follow up with both. I make sure to follow up with as many people as I can a day without getting blocked from like Messenger on Facebook and Instagram. And then I make sure to every morning after I do self-development and do all of those things, I make sure to message my team and see how they're doing and see if they need any help, see if they're feeling discouraged, see if they're feeling defeated, see if they need like a new host to post script, if they need a new message script. So I always try to be able and available for my girls at all times, because I know what it feels like to literally be alone when you're trying to run your own business. So I always make sure to do those things in the morning. And make sure people see you, make sure people see your face, make sure people know that you're a real person, because there's 1,000,001 people that do what we do and just push out stories of keto coffee and wraps and TFX, and like, that's cool. People are going to want to order the product eventually, but they're going to want to order product from you because you're you. Like, they don't just want skinny coffee. They want skinny coffee from Megan because they love her. So I always make sure that I'm at least showing my face on a story, whether it's a picture or a video. I really like doing Instagram videos. My boyfriend makes fun of me all the time, but like, I'll do them in the middle of like dinner, or like if we're at the mall, I'm like, oh my God, look at this cute thing. Like, I just love to like talk to people. So I always make sure that I show my face on my stories at least once a day, and I try to post a live post once a day. Sometimes I'm not really the greatest at that because I'm lazy. I don't like to get ready and take pictures. I look like this majority of the time. So I make sure that I take pictures on the weekends, and then I make sure to make a live post at least 3 times a week.
Perfect. That's awesome. Okay. Are you organized like with a planner and stuff, like, or do you have like a binder or?
Yes. So I thrive off of organization. I'm not a very, like, my house, if you saw my house, like, it's not dirty, but like, it's definitely not organized. Like, I aspire to be that person that has like their pantry like coated with like labels and stuff. Like, I wish that was me, but it's not. But with my business, I absolutely have to be organized or I forget. Like, I'm a very flustered person. I can literally be talking to you and something shines and I'm like, and I get so distracted. So like, I have to be organized. I have to have something in front of me to follow. So I actually have like my binder right in front of me. I always keep like a motivational quote in it on every like single side, because I think I like my love language is like self-affirmation. So like when I see good things, it makes me feel good and it makes me excited. So in the front, I have literally another quote. And then right here, I have my new distributor tracker. So all that is like, if Megan signed up on my team, I would put her name and then I would put her join date and her eSuite ID or her distributor ID. And it's 6 boxes, and that's how I count their customers for their shopping spree. That way I know who's on track, how much longer they have, how many customers they have. And then I have a potentials list, which is not in its slot because I was taking it out, writing names down. But it literally just looks like this. It's just a column straight across. It's like their name, which product they wanted, what day I talked to them, if it was on Facebook or on Instagram, and then when they order, I highlight their name. And then another thing that I saw from somebody from like a long time ago, it was posted in like 2012, so I don't even know if she's still with the company, but I have, okay, and everything's like toppling down because my life's a hot mess. Oh, goodness. So right here I have my friends list. You can literally go on Facebook and find your friends and print out a huge list. The list that they give you is long as hell. So if you have time, you can like sit there and take off like what date y'all became friends. Cause I don't really give a shit. Like I'm just going to message them. I don't care what day we became friends. So right here I have my whole entire friends list, and I make sure if I don't have any, like if I've already followed up with all of my potentials and stuff, I'll go through here and message these people. And I try to stay in between 10 to 15 messages an hour because anything over that, Facebook and Instagram like to block you. And then in this one, I just have like a normal calendar just because I don't ever know what's going on. And then right here, I have all of my charts. I have like ruby, diamond, double diamond, emerald, triple. I have all of these charts for myself. And then behind this, I have my team charts because I have to keep them separate. I don't know why. It's just like a thingy thing I have to do. And then back here, I have my dream board. So I made my own dream board on, what's that app called? I made my own dream board on Over, and I sent it to myself and I printed it out. That way every day I can come back and look at my dream board and be like, oh, remember you said you wanted to buy a Louis Vuitton by 2021. Like, how close are you to your goal? So I always make sure I have my dreams all in front of me. And then I have a customer order form. I don't really know why I have that, but that's what I have right there. But yeah, I literally have to stay organized or I will not remember anything.
Wow, I am right there with you. I am all over the place. So I love that. Can you send me that like potentials list?
Yeah,
Little whatever picture BF thingy.
for sure.
And then I will put it in our chat because I like anything that keeps me more organized with potentials because I am just everywhere. So anything that makes my life easier.
Yes.
Do you have any like tips or like apps that you use to, or is it just your planner, or like do you use the Connect app, or do you use anything like?
Most of the time I just use my planner. A lot of the times when I talk to like potentials and stuff, most of the time I'm busy or I'm like doing something. So at the end of the night, I go back through my messages on like Facebook, Instagram, and my text messages, and I look at who I talked to about what, and then I'll transfer it over. I don't really use the Connect app. Like ever. I don't know why. I probably should, but I just log into my eSuite and look at everything there. But yeah, no, I don't. I don't use any apps or anything. I don't know. I'm more of like a paper and pencil type of person.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to work this business. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
whatever works for you, like run with it and just
Right.
because I mean, people do use it's, and yeah. But there's apps for everything. There's things to print off for everything if you're a paper.
Literally.
Yeah. So on so you kind of touched on earlier about like self-development and like why it's important. What are some self-development like personal books that you like like audiobooks that you have really liked and found and stuff that just really made a big impact on you, or just really any?
Okay. So every day I read from the Hi God One More Thing by Nicole Crank. There's actually like a link you can get the book for literally free. You just pay for the shipping. And I use that every day. And then sometimes if I don't have time to if I wake up later, I have something to do, I'll listen to Les Brown. He's a motivational speaker. And he's freaking hilarious, but he honestly just lights a fire within my soul every time I listen to him. So I listen to him a lot. Podcasts. I love podcasts. I actually have my own podcast that I haven't posted on in a while, but I do have my own podcast. And I listen to Boss Babes podcast. They're the people that post the really cute quotes on the pink backgrounds on Instagram. I listen to them because they're hilarious. They talk about how to run your business, how to stay confident. They talk about how to talk to people. And they're just really great to listen to in general. They're really funny. And then I also have, it's called the Self-Development Workbook. I got it off of Amazon. So every day you open it and it'll say, write down 5 things that you're grateful for, or write down 5 things that you love about yourself, or write down 5 goals that you have and make sure that you don't stop until you get them. It's just an interactive workbook. And I like it a lot. I got it off of Amazon for $6. And yeah, those are pretty much the only ones I use. Oh, also, I forgot her name, Rachel Hollis. Girl Wash Your Face. I love that one. I love all of her books. She's amazing. I also follow her and listen to her Instagram stories, and I like her a lot too.
I love her.
She's amazing.
Second book too, and that one. I am gonna have to check out that Boss Babe podcast because I haven't heard of that. I mean, I knew their Instagram and stuff, but
yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I love it.
Let's see, what's the next one? So so you said as far as kind of being yourself, before, your team started growing again and stuff, how did you show up as a leader? Whenever your team quit, whenever people quit, your uplines quit on you, how did you show up as a leader? Because you don't need, anybody underneath you to be a leader.
Right.
Yeah. Let's take that.
I guess I kind of just took everything that happened to me, and instead of being mad about it, I just kind of turned it into positive things. So I still showed up every day for my business. I still showed up for the people who were watching me. I still made it a point to let everybody know that this business still has been life-changing, even though it didn't happen exactly how I wanted it to, obviously. I had a few girls that did, not everybody quit. I had a few girls that held on, and I was pissed when everybody quit and my upline quit, because I was what do I do now? What do I do if I need help? But instead of because I believe in if I'm in a bad mood and I'm around people, it's going to make everybody in a bad mood. So I still showed up every day for my girls. I still was so excited when they did anything. I still I knew what I came into this business for, and quitting wasn't an option for me. So I just knew okay, you can be upset, but eventually you need to put your big girl panties back on and get up and keep going. So I let myself be upset, but then I guess I just realized who I was and what my worth was, and I decided to not let it ruin me, because that's what I was on the way to doing. I was letting it ruin me. And I decided that's not gonna happen. I've been there before. I knew what my life was before the business, and it absolutely sucked. So I wasn't gonna let it get back to that place. And my boyfriend helped me overcome a lot, because he's been on the journey with me. He has an account, which we had to Ruby, and then when everything happened, I wasn't maintaining his account because I was just and I didn't care. But he helped me overcome a lot of it as well. But it's all about what's inside of you, because any husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, grandpa, they can tell you that you're amazing, but at the end of the day, if you don't believe that you're amazing, it's not gonna work. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you're a boss. You have to know that the sun comes out tomorrow. It's a bad day. It's not a bad life. It could just be a bad moment. Don't turn it into a bad life, and don't ever think that just because something happens to you, you have to let it. You know what I mean? You have to you have to be strong enough to pull yourself out of shitty situations, because that's just life. Life just freaking sucks. And I think that's what I realized is like, life just sucks. Like, it's never going to be perfect. So I just decided to get over it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, I love what you said. I mean, just showing up and just really understanding that your your dreams and your life is worth it, and giving up is not going to make anything any better. Um, except for back where you started the business.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love I love it all. Um, so we're okay. So just like a couple more things, but if you had to tell yourself anything like as a brand new distributor, what would you tell yourself?
Mm, that's a hard one. I would probably tell myself, you need to, I don't know how I'm trying to word it. Basically, you need to set a goal for yourself, and you need to just have tunnel vision. Like, you need to just, because that was my biggest thing when I first started. I was like, oh my God, everybody's going to think that I'm like one of those people. And like, that held me back. Like, I was terrified. Like, I don't think I assigned a distributor with like for my first month. Like, but my second month I hit it hard and I went Ruby. But like, my biggest thing that I would have said to myself, like brand new, scared as hell, is like, take a deep breath, breathe, everything will be okay. You're not alone. I wish that's something that I could have told myself, because I was the type of person, like, I was too scared to reach out to anybody. Like, everybody was like, oh, you have constant support, but in my head, like, I was like, no, I don't, because like, I don't know these people. So I think I would definitely tell myself, set yourself a goal and have tunnel vision, and don't stop until you're there. Also ask for help. Always ask for help, because you're never going to figure it out if you just sit there and you're like, well, I don't know how to do this. Well, you're never going to know how to do it if you don't ask for help. And then another big thing that I tell all of my new distributors, and that I wish I would have told myself, is don't freaking compare yourself. Like, that is the devil. Like, comparing yourself is absolutely terrible, because at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt anybody but you, because the people that you're comparing yourself to have no idea that that's what you're doing. And not everybody's the same. Like, I'm Brie, I'm not Megan, you know what I mean? Like, you have to not compare yourself to people, because everybody's journey is different, but everybody starts from the same point. We all start from ground zero. We all start from being broke. We all start from crying over the bills that we can't pay. But eventually, like, you get to where you want to be, and you just can't compare yourself on the way, because you're just knocking yourself 100 steps down from where you just came.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. Man, you're awesome. I'll tell you what, you're just like all kinds of fire, and I love it. I love it so much. Let's see. And then, so if there's like, is there anything that you want to add, or tips that you want to share, that like for the current stuff that's going on, like BOGOs or distributors, whatever tips that you want to give, whatever.
I said it earlier, but I didn't really touch on it much. Your mindset is absolutely everything, not even just in this business, just in life in general. It's been proven that the more you like speak things out into the universe, and like the more you write things down, the more likely it is to happen. So your mindset is literally what will keep you going in this business. If you wake up every single day and you're like, man, nobody wants these wraps. Like, I tried to sell a bag of wraps and nobody wanted them. Nobody's going to want them. Like, you have to wake up and you have to be like, these people want my wraps. These people want my skinny coffee. These people want freaking hair, skin, and nail vitamins. That's what I tell myself every day. Like, there's days I don't want to get out of bed. There's days I don't want to talk to people, but I get up and I have a positive mindset, because that's what's going to take you far in life and in the business. I tell my girls every single training, like, they're probably tired of hearing it, I'm like, you have to have a positive mindset. And like, they make fun of me for it. Like, after we get off of training, I like say something and I'm like, oh, this lady just irritated me, and they're like, you should have a positive mindset. And I'm like, okay, I know. But really, like, mindset is literally everything. Like, you have to wake up every day and just tell yourself, like, I'm a boss, this is going to happen, I know where I'm going, and I know that I'm going to get there. So mindset is a huge thing that I tell literally everybody. Another thing is, like, find your people. I tell my girls this all the time, because they, like, my newer ones, they see what I post and they like copy and paste it. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, your story is different than mine. Like, you did, like, one of the girls literally joined like 2 weeks ago, and she reposted one of my things that was like, oh, I joined 2 years ago. She literally reposted that, and I was like, honey, you didn't join 2 years ago. Like, you just joined 2 weeks ago. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, well, I don't know what to post. Like, I don't know who I'm marketing to. I don't know, da, da, da. But find your people. Like, everybody has a thing. Everybody has a thing. Like, Megan's a mom. So, like, she's going to attract moms. I'm not a mom. I'm a dog mom. So I attract people who have animals. I attract people who, I don't know, a lot of people are just drawn to who you are as a person, your personality. Like, most of my followers would tell you, like, I'm a hot mess. I never wash my hair. I'm usually not wearing pants. Like, people know that about me. And that's like my thing. Like, people are attracted to me because of like who I am. And I've never wanted to be somebody else. But that's not true. I definitely want to be a presidential diamond, but I don't want to be like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be like Cheyenne Knox. Like, I want to be myself. I want to be somebody who people like. And that's another thing, is like, not everybody's gonna like you. You're not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. I have like people who add me on Facebook, and they message me and they're like, you know, I usually don't follow people like you, but your energy is just like so out there. And I'm like, thanks. Like, not everybody's gonna like you, and that's okay, because there's 1,000,005 other people who like the stuff that you like versus that one person who didn't. So I always tell my girls, find your people. And the way that you find your people is you just be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else, because that cheesy saying from like 2005, you were born an original, don't be a copy, because nobody wants to have 7,000 Megans. They want to have one Megan and one Tina. And like, they love you, they buy from you, and they want to be around you because of who you are. So just be yourself. Your people will come, your people will follow. It's gonna happen. And then another thing is, you have to, like, a big thing that I was always scared of is talking to people. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to ask her if she wants wraps. Like, if she wants them, she'll just come to me. But like, that's not how this works. Like, if you want to make money and you want to promote, you have to go find the people and bring them to you. And that's a big thing that a lot of the girls that I just signed are like leery about. And I'm like, listen, I don't want to talk to Barbara about wraps either, because I'm anxious. It scares the hell out of me. But I know that if I want to get to Diamond and I need 7 wrap orders, I'm going to talk to Barbara, Betty, Angie, and everybody else, because I need them to buy some wraps. So you have to get out of your comfort zone, which sucks. But I think that everything in this business is getting out of your comfort zone, because not anybody joins and knows exactly what they're doing. Not anybody joins and knows like, oh, I need to do this to make this. No, you have no idea what you're doing. You learn as you go. So I always tell my girls, you have to talk to people, because the people don't just come. Sometimes they do, but 98% of my customers, I went out and I was like, hey, here's coffee, come here. Like, I went and got them. So you can't just sit there, because not everybody's going to be like, oh, Tina, can I buy wraps from you? Like, maybe occasionally, but not really. Cheyenne preaches about like attraction marketing. That's not my thing. Like, I just go out and find people, and I'm like, hey, hi, you come over here. And they come. So I go out and actively seek people. That's what has made me successful. So if you are too scared to talk to people, I get it, because me too. I literally still hate talking to people, like messaging new people. I'm like, oh my God, what if she thinks I'm weird? Like, it's still something I struggle with every day, but you have to go out and do it, because that's how you're successful. There was one more thing I was going to say, and I was like really excited about it, and then I forgot. Oh, nope. Hold on. I thought I wrote it down, but I guess not. Oh, yes. Okay. So you have to completely take, and I tell my girls this all the time, you have to completely take motivation off the table, because we're humans. Nobody wakes up motivated. Like, I'm sure being a mom, if y'all are a mom, I know Megan is, I'm sure if you're a mom and you're like dealing with kids all the time, how are you? Are you okay? Like, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could stay up with kids all night, wake up early in the morning, feed them food, listen to their shows. Oh my God, it drives me insane. When I'm like around my nieces and nephews, I'm like, turn your cartoon down. Like, I don't see how you guys do that. So not everybody's motivated. Like, you're not always going to get the best sleep. You're not always going to have the best day. You're not going to be motivated every single day. That's a crock of shit. Like, motivation isn't real to me. It's not a real thing. So I tell my girls to replace motivation with consistency. Because at the end of the day, if you know you need 45 wrap orders to be diamond, that's never going to change. You have to just wake up and be consistent and continue to do it, even if you don't want to. I don't want to get up and talk to people about coffee. I don't know if our coffee is okay if you have herpes syphilitis. Like, I don't know, but it's just something that you do because it's what you need. You need to do the things to get to where you want to be. So take motivation out of your vocabulary because it's not a real thing. I would say I wake up motivated one day out of 30. So that just goes to show you that motivation is not like a huge thing. Consistency is key. You wake up and you post about your coffee, even if you don't want to, even if you don't feel like it, just get up and post about it. Get up and show like, hey, I love this coffee. I may not love it today, but I love this coffee every other day. Consistency is what is going to take you so far in this business and just in life in general. So be consistent. You're not going to be motivated every day. Hello, nobody's motivated every day. I didn't even want to get out of bed this morning, but I did because I knew that I had to. So don't work your business based off of motivation. Work your business based off of the goal that you want to achieve. Because just like Jade Hooper said last night, and I literally felt like she was talking directly to me when she said that. She was like, if you're in Tennessee and your goal is California, California is never going to move. It's always going to be there. Your goal is always going to be there. But the way that you're going to get to it is if you get up and go. So that's what I tell my girls all the time. I'm like, it doesn't matter if you have motivation. It matters if you have a good mindset and if you're consistent. And that's true. I think that's all I was going to say. No, I think there was something else, but I don't remember. It's fine.
Well, you just interrupt me. If it comes to you, just like, I remember.
Okay.
Just like piggybacking off of that because they had a Diamond and Above Zoom today, and one of the things that was said was they had us like write on this other page. They had us write out like some of the things that you like go through and stuff, and one of the things was following through and writing down like who is the person that you want to be? Like, who do you, when people think of you, what do you want them to think of you as, or how do you want to be perceived as? So, as a presidential diamond, do you want people to say like, she's a great leader, she's consistent, she, shows up for her team every day, she, always, like, no matter how she's feeling, like, think of the person that you look up to in this business, and how do they, like, what positive things do you say about them, And so, the next thing is like, what does that person do? Like, do they, when you think of that person, what does their day look like? They're consistent. So consistency, just like she said. Do they complete their list every single day of their 6 list? Do they wake up and do a power hour? Do they get on journaling Zooms? Do they make sure they're on this Zoom and this Zoom and this Zoom, or at least one Zoom? Are they pouring into themselves? Like, what is that person that you want to be and be perceived as? What do they look like? And then, no matter how you're feeling, piggybacking off of the motivation, show up. Show up. Show up for you. Show up for your team. And if you're, like, even if nobody shows up, like, if you're wanting to host a Zoom for your team, nobody shows up, you know what? Who showed up? You did. And who went and got on that other Zoom that, Courtney and Shay and everybody else, who showed up? You did. You showed up on your story. You showed up on your Zoom meeting. You showed up for you. And that will always be the best thing, because when you show up, that's the people who you're attracting. You're attracting your tribe. And if you're putting out that energy and putting out the, all the good stuff that comes along with your business and consistency and stuff, those are people that you're going to attract into your business. So
I remember what it was. You have to Did I really just forget what I was going to say? I'm so angry. Oh, you have to, a lot of the girls on, like, when they join me, they're like, well, do I have to post about this every day? And I'm like, yes. Like, does McDonald's not, like, turn on their golden arches every day? Like, if you're not posting about your business, if you're not posting about your coffee, if you're just not posting about it, how are people supposed to know you're open for business? I literally, 2 weeks ago, I was crushed because I had talked to this girl for like months about like ordering hair, skin, and nail vitamins. Talked to her for months. And she was like, Brie, I get paid on the 20-something, whatever. She was like, I get paid on this day. And I was like, okay, awesome. I'll follow up with you. I freaking forgot. And I followed up with her and she was like, oh, well, I messaged you and you didn't answer. So I ordered from somebody else. I was like, oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, you have to make sure that you're open for business every single day. You have to make sure you show people that you're there. Because like if you walk like when you're window shopping, if you walk past a store that's like doesn't have any lights on, all of the curtains are drawn, you're not gonna want to go there. You're gonna want to go across the street to the people who have like all the lights on and the cute cheetah print things in the window, and you're like, ooh, shiny. Like, you want to go that way. So you always want to make sure like you are every single day talk about the business every single day, every day. Literally, like Jade Hooper, she told a long time ago, it was like literally like my first Zoom I ever attended. I was like, this lady is freaking crazy. Like, I had no idea who she was. Like, that was right after she had like Lucy, and so she's like breastfeeding, and I'm like, oh my God, this lady has her, like, what's going on? Like, I had no idea what was going on. But the one thing that she said to me that literally stuck with me till this day is, anything that this business pays for, literally anything, tell people. Act like everybody gives a shit what is going on in your life. That's the one thing that I have always done. That's the first message that I ever heard from Jade. She was like standing in her kitchen screaming baby, breastfeeding. Will was screaming at her. But that's like the one thing that like stuck inside of my brain. Literally, like, if you go out and you buy a Coke, be like, oh my God, my business paid for this Coke. Like, look at it. Isn't it perfect? My business paid for this whole thing. And just act like people care what is going on, because they do. Like, if whether you realize it or not, people are watching you every day. Like, I literally have people message me all the time and they're like, oh, you said you were going to show us your blah, 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 and you didn't. And I'm like, what? And they're like, you posted on your story and you said you were going to share with us the blah, 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 and you didn't. And I'm like, oh, damn, like, she called me out. I'm not. Like, people are watching, regardless of if you think that they're not, regardless of if you don't get as much interaction on your posts as you want to. My posts don't really, well, that's not true. Like, every now and again, I'll post something on Facebook, which the time before got a lot of interaction, but this time it didn't. It's just your algorithm. It doesn't mean nobody's watching you. Because, like, I literally posted something 2 days ago when it was $24 signups. I was like, who wants to change their life for 20, the whole spiel on my Facebook, and nobody commented on that. But I had 3 girls that messaged me and they were like, I want to join right now. And they all 3 signed up. Like, everybody's watching you at all times, whether you believe it or not. So make sure you're excited, because if you just show up every day and you're like, meh, I guess I have wraps, I guess I have coffee, I guess if you need some TFX, like, I'm here, people aren't going to want to buy from you. So you want to make sure that you show up and you constantly do all the things to get to where you want to be. Because if I would have just messaged that girl 2 days sooner, that would have been my volume. Like, I don't even know who she ordered from, but I was so angry. I was like, oh God. And she was like, well, can I cancel and reorder with you? And I didn't want to do that to her, obviously, because it's a $50 cancellation fee. So I was like, no, it's okay. Maybe, like, somebody who like wants hair, skin, and nail vitamins. I don't know. So I just wanted to say, like, make sure you and your social media is your storefront. That is what people see when they come to your page. So make sure they see that you're so excited that your business bought you a hamburger. Like, you're so excited that your business is going to help you pay for your oil change. Like, make sure that they know that what this business has done for you. Make sure they know what the products have done for you. Make sure you're open for business at all times. And yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And the thing is people, the things that we think that we're posting about that may seem so minimal about, like, what the business has paid for, like a burger or a Coke, some people don't get those things because they cost, and they cost outside of the things that they can afford. Like, some people don't have any wiggle room outside of their bills. And so being able to go to the gas station and put an extra $10, put in, buy a Gatorade or buy whatever. That's like that's something that's so special to some people and what they literally just are wanting and praying for right now. And you posting about it is exactly like what they need to hear. They don't need to hear that, like, I mean, of course, it's incredible that people, this business, you're able to, build houses and stuff from the money, but
Right.
it's the small things, the small things that we join this business for. So I wanted to add that in there too. Kind of.
And what I've learned with like the whole what's it called? Oh, like with the whole pandemic thing going on right now, it's really hard to get customers because literally nobody has the money to do anything. But I've noticed like I have never signed this many distributors like ever. Like people are literally coming to me and they're like, I need your business. And I'm like, oh God, I just signed 3, like leave me alone. Like give me a second to breathe. Like, so you not like use the 50% off to entice people, because like I've had a lot of people that messaged me 6 months ago before it was like full blown pandemic or whatever. And they were like, oh, I just don't have the $99. Like, I really wish I could join. I really need a side income. But like people right now really, really need an income. So make sure you're using the 50% off to your advantage. I literally have girls that joined 2 weeks ago and they already signed a distributor because people are like, I need to do what you're doing. So make sure you use that to your advantage. And there was something else and I forgot. But yeah, make sure you're using that to your advantage. Also, the BOGO deal is insane. Like I have so many people that are ready to order because it's BOGO. So make sure you use that to your advantage, because a lot of like me personally, like I've had 4 married couples that want to order the TFX, but they don't want to wait. Like your first shipment is 1 bottle and your second shipment is the other. They don't want to wait until the second month comes in. So I've had a whole bunch of married people be like, yo, we want to order BOGO. And I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. So make sure you're following up with people who you've talked to in the past. Even if their product isn't on BOGO, still follow up with them. And just make sure that, like I said, you're making yourself available, but definitely use the 50% off to your advantage, because there's a lot of people hurting for money right now and a lot of people that wish they could work from their phone like you do, but you're never going to know unless you ask. That's what I forgot earlier. You're never going to know who needs the business if you don't ask. And I don't remember who said it on a Zoom. I think it might have been Cammie or Mark. I don't remember. But one of them was like, it's almost selfish for you to not share what you have, like what you have your hands on, because there's so many people out there like day to day that can't, like Megan said, can't even afford to like go to the gas station and buy a Gatorade. Like that sucks. But I've been there. Like I know how bad that is. So make sure that you're constantly posting about your business. Make sure that you're reaching out to people to see if this is something that they would want to do, because more oftentimes than not, a lot of people are like, I've been watching you forever and like I wanted to join. And I'm like, why didn't you join? And they're like, I'm scared. And I'm like, okay, well, never wait that long to reach out to anybody ever again. One of the girls that joined me last month was like, I've been watching you for 13 months. And I'm like, why didn't you join? And she's like, I don't know, I was scared. So make sure that you're following up and make sure that you're always open for business, and make sure that you're always posting about your business. And if you don't have anything that's done for you, say what it will do for you. Because I struggled with that too. I was like, well, it hasn't done anything. I literally just started. Like, I don't even have my kit in the mail yet. Like, what do you want me to say? And they were like, what do you want this business to do for you? And also writing down your goals and constantly looking at them is such a game changer. Like everything that I wrote down on my first dream board that I thought was absolutely insane to be sitting here writing stuff out that would never happen to me has happened. Like I paid off all of my debt from college. I have 2 cars. That's crazy. Like growing up my whole entire life, I had 1 hoopty that like, if it didn't work, I was walking. And now I have 2 cars that are completely paid off and in my name. Like that's insane. Like if that's something that you want to do, make sure you're writing that down and shout that out. Be like, watch, I just joined this business, but guess what it's going to do? It's going to buy me my vacuum that I want. Like you just have to tell people what you want the business to do for you, and then they're gonna follow you. And once you reach that goal, they're gonna be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna join Tina's team. Hell yeah, I watched her post about this and she got it done. People are gonna be like, let me hop on. And that's a lot of your team. If you set, even your team now. If you set a goal for yourself and you achieve it, a lot of people on your team just want to be a part of something that's good. So a lot of the girls on your team, if they see you running after goals and they see you achieving that, that's just going to make them wake up and be like, oh, I need to do all the things because I want to hit my goal. So make sure that you're constantly posting about what the business has done or will do for you. I have bad English and grammar and all that, but make sure that you're constantly telling people what this business is and has and is going to do for you, because it'll change the game. Also, host a post. If you don't do those, you need to, because all of the customers that I got today, I got off a host a post literally. Like, and the biggest host a post success that I've had is the TFX, and I actually use Megan's script. Like, you posted it in Diamond Tribe like months ago, and that's the one I still use every single time, and it gets people every single time. So make sure you're utilizing host to post. Also with BOGO, like, it's a double whammy. You're guaranteed to get somebody, but just remember, like, the business is definitely success in numbers, and if you are not confident in yourself and you don't, like, if you don't tell yourself I can do this, you're not going to be able to do it, because nobody's going to hold your hand. That's what I tell my girls all the time. They're like, well, what about the people that make like $25,000 a month? And I'm like, do you think they got there because everybody handed it to them? No. So you just have to be there for yourself. Be your own support system, be your own backboard. But of course you have people to help you. But I'm just saying, like, you have to believe in yourself, because at the end of the day, you got you. Nobody else got you. And at the end of the day, when everything's said and done, we're all going to be buried alone. So just remember, like, you have to do what you have to do for yourself. And the only person that's going to get you there is yourself. That's all I have to say, I think.
I love it. Just mic drop.
Mic drop. I was wondering what you were doing, because it sounded like you were like, and I was like, explosion?
Well, the chat is already blowing up, and they're like, I needed to hear all of this. I'm like, yes, me too. Seriously, me too.
I'm glad.
Yes,
I get really fired up.
this is why I love them. They're just much needed, and
Yes.
you are just such a light, and I just thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go to recording.